Okay, I'm camera. You don't need to put the cheese in my face.
You sure they don't want to see the quality of the cheese?
Hey, Chen, don't start with the silliness. I don't want that. Good morning, tea timers. I'm about to kill my son at the tea time table, but y'all know how that is.
Do you want...
Hey, Chen, vas-y, hey, Chen.
I know, but do you think this is enough?
Déjame en paz.
What?
Déjame en paz.
Is that Spanish?
That is Spanish. What did I
no
say?
idea what
Leave me in peace, son.
Ah. Well, I can't do that until you tell me. Do you think this is enough cheese? Do you?
We about to kill this boy up in this piece. He about to die, y'all. He about to die. Shh, don't tell anybody.
You left the creamer out, Mom.
I'm about to put this on pause and have to go knock my son out real quick because he's being funny trying to get some attention. It's like a dang little 2-year-old. Tell you about these children constantly needing somebody's attention. Okay, hey. Sorry, people. Sorry. No. Get something simple. Go to your room. You're making noise. You're doing it on purpose. Stop.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
Stop.
That's the last one.
Stop. Good morning. About to kill these children up in here. They about to die, y'all. They about to die. It's only one child here at this table. Why did he wake up so early? This is what happens when you put your kids. Yeah, Chelsea, come get your brother. I'm sending him to you. Chelsea. Good morning, Chelsea Wesley. Good morning, Suli. Good morning, Janice. Come get your boy, Janice. Come get your nephew. Come get your grandchild, Elaine. Come get him. Somebody. Suli, he's your nephew too now. Come get your nephew. That's messed up, Chelsea, Mac. That's messed up. If Suli didn't have the fires, I'd put him on the plane and be like, Suli's he and Z will get along just fine. Take him. Send Suli a Facebook message. He's at the airport waiting for you. What? I don't know that child. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I trust you. Good morning, Jana. Come get your nephew. Suli, Jana's like, wait, what? You my sister, girl. Come get the boy. No, Suli, how I'm going to take Z if I'm giving you E? You take both of them. So let's just see where we go today. You know what? My mother, Miss Elaine Moe, called me this morning. My eyes still closed. I'm still tired. It's a Saturday. It is a Saturday. I don't wake up early on Saturdays. I try not to. And the one day that I was not waking up early, my mother calls me at 8-something this morning. I'm like, good morning. Good morning, Kai. Good morning, Kiku. I was like, Mom, I'm not ready to open my eyes yet. I can have. Nah, girl. Jana, you tripping. You are so hard tripping hard. How am I going to send my 1 and you going to send your 3? No, that's not how it works. You got 3. What's one more, Jana? What's one more? This grown son of mine. Jesus. Anyway, that's my precious. I understand. I love that crazy boy. I don't know what I would do if he wasn't crazy. I don't understand children who don't have energy, who don't drive you crazy. I don't understand that. That would be a boring life, right? What's that? The kid sitting in the corner doing nothing. I'm like, is he okay? Is everything okay with that child? Anyway, so my mother called me this morning, irritated me. Anyway, I love my mama, but she be working my nerves, waking me up in the morning. What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Don't you know it's a Saturday? Anyway, I got good sleep, so we had a good conversation. But when I got off the phone, I'm searching Facebook. What do I want to talk about today? What's on my mind? And I remember that we were talking about relationships all week long. We have been talking about relationships. intermixed with the relationships we've talked about, Biden and Kamala. Good morning, Erica. Good morning, Diane. We talked about Biden and Kamala. Oh, so let me go back to the challenge that I gave everybody. I gave everybody the challenge of reaching out to 5 people and encouraging them to get involved, not just to vote, but to get involved. It's not your responsibility how they receive your encouragement. It is just your responsibility to encourage. So that same day, I was walking down the street and some random guy walked past me. And I was like, hey, good morning. He's like, good morning. I'm like, are you registered to vote? He says, yeah. Good. Are you getting involved? He's like, well, yeah, I mean, I would love to. I was like, well, there are great ways for you to get involved. I am not canvassing for any particular person. I am just encouraging you to get involved in this election cycle. You can text 30330. And really, if you text anything to 30330, I believe you will get a message back that tells you how you can be involved through volunteering, through donating. This man actually pulled out his phone and texted 30330 and thanked me for helping him to have that information. I said, look, I'm not telling you what to do or who you need to vote for. I'm suggesting that you need to be involved. And I walked down the street further. This was a black guy. And that didn't matter to me. And I wanted to make sure that it didn't matter to me. So when I walked past the white guy, I was like, hey, good morning. He's like, good morning. I'm like, hey, are you registered to vote? He's like, So the first guy was a younger black guy. The second guy was an older white guy. Older meaning not in his 20s or 30s. He was probably 40s, 50s, maybe 60s. So a little older. Not old, just older. And I asked, he was getting out of his car to take a picture of something. And I stopped him and his car is running in the middle of the street. And I'm like, are you registered? He's like, yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm running for mayor in this area. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, why would I vote for you? And he tells me he stands for social equity and something. Affordability and something else. I don't remember. That was 3 days ago. Y'all know I ain't going to remember that. But I do remember his name, Schlegel, rhymes with bagel. And I only remember that because he said, my name is something Schlegel, rhymes with bagel. And I said, well, now I will remember. So I encouraged him to get involved. Even though he told me he was running for mayor, great, get involved in this presidential election cycle. Get involved. So I'm 2 down. I reached out to a niece of mine, 3 down. I reached out to another niece of mine. We haven't had our conversation yet. 4 down. I do have another finger. 4 down. Got one more to do. And I'll be reaching out to that person after later on this afternoon through a phone call. So make sure that you're doing your reach out. Make sure that you're reaching out. Oh, great. Suli says, I spoke to 3 people yesterday. Great. Let me go back up here to your other comment. I see it here and I want to read it. I overheard Z's teacher asking, is there a reason you're late? I'm like, oh, Z is not late. Went on camera and went on a rant about giving the kids some slack as they are dealing with a lot now with fires. I was mad only to find out the teacher wasn't talking to Z, but another student. So he like, hold up. Dang it. Hold up. What, you want me to go to the office and get my tardy slip? That's what you need to do, Suli. Just in case Z is ever late, you need to create a tardy slip. You need to sign that tardy slip and have Z hold it up to the camera so he has a tardy slip. Be playing with me. Yeah, there's a reason I'm late. I couldn't get my computer connected, or I had to go pee, or look, yes, there's a reason. The world is on fire. That's the reason. Yes, there's a reason I'm suffering from anxiety and depression, and I find it very hard to get to the table. I would rather be in class. I would rather see my friends. I would rather you be standing right in front of me talking to me. That's the reason I'm late. Ask that teacher, is there a reason you giving me a hard time for being a few minutes late to a virtual meeting? Really? Did I miss anything? Man, teachers. I said man teachers. However, teachers have it hard right now too. Elaine says, if you are not suggesting folks should vote for Biden, then exactly how is that going to assist us getting rid of? So the thing about it is, I know what you're saying, Mom, and I think I didn't read the rest of that comment because it didn't show up all at one time. Really stupid. You have to at least suggest they read about what Biden has done and what Harris has done. Yeah, so I realized as I was saying that to each of these people that what I wanted to show at the time, I wanted to show them that I am not hired by anybody. I am not canvassing officially for anybody. I am a concerned citizen wanting everybody to be involved. That's what I am. And hope that because of that, they see the need to be involved, right? But you're right. I mean, I need to say, look, are you planning on doing the right thing this election cycle? I was not ready on that walk in that moment to get into a debate with anyone. I wasn't ready. So maybe next time I just need to be ready. And then that way I can say, get involved, vote Biden and Kamala. Why is she taking over? vote Biden and Kamala. You're right. I should. But I come from a time of, back in my day, which is different from your day, I wouldn't talk about politics. I don't want to debate with you about who you're voting for, who you're not voting for. But you're right. This is a time for change. This is the time when our past practices aren't going to work. And maybe in the past, I don't want to have a debate with you about why you're not voting the way I'm voting. But right now, maybe I have to. That's something I maybe need to prepare for. I need to tell you that your vote is wrong if it's not right. And it's only right if it's Biden and Kamala. And it's only right if you're casting a vote for Biden and Kamala. Otherwise, you're wrong. Period. No justification. You are actually absolutely, concretely wrong. And I need to be prepared for that. I was not prepared that day, but I will get prepared. You're right. I will get prepared. And I have been having that conversation, telling people, suggesting to people how they need to vote when I'm talking to people I know. When I'm stopping random people on the street, I don't want to get jumped by some Trump supporter. So I'm like, look, I ain't telling you who to vote for. That's more about keeping myself safe. That's what I was thinking in that moment. But you're right. I could keep that in mind. But maybe I won't stop random people. Anyway, back to relationships. So we've talked about being ready to date. We've laughed at some of the foolishness of dating. We've laughed at my examples of foolishness. We've gotten a great question to dig deep from conversation one. And maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. I don't dig deep in that first conversation. But maybe I need to dig deep in that first conversation so I know who has the depth to hang with me. To be able to be next to me, you have to have some depth. And if I am afraid of going deep with you, I will never see how deep you are actually able to go. So maybe that's what I need to do. I'm not going to try. My brother, a long time ago, and I think I need to start enacting this concept. A long time ago, he's like, I would not introduce people to my kids. I would not introduce them to my life, really, because I didn't want to scare them away. And he's like, you know what? Yes, you do. You want to put it all out on the table in the very beginning, scare them away. Whoever is going to be scared away, you need them to be scared away quickly, sooner rather than later. So you're not wasting your time with someone who's going to be scared away by who you are and what you are. I mean, those weren't the words he used, but I'm saying that. You want to scare people away. So go deep from day one. Scare them suckers away. You scared? Keep stepping. Let me move on to the next person who's not scared. And some people will be like, oh, you too deep for me. Okay, yeah, but if I'm too deep for you today, I'm going to be too deep for you next week, next year. But what happens when So we've talked about relationships on that side, right? But I want to ask you, how do you personally support someone who is in a relationship that you know is unhealthy? Not that you think is unhealthy, that you 100% know is unhealthy. How do you support your sisters in their unhealthy relationship where you see them suffering, suffocating, and losing themselves in the mix of their relationship? Elaine says, when you believe and have info about your candidate, okay, so we're going to back up for a second because this comment came a little later. When you believe and have info about your candidate, then you absolutely have to say their name. You cannot tell folks that they have to vote for Biden, but you can say, in my research, I have concluded that Biden is the best person for the job. I hope that you, if you not, okay, if you have not reached a choice, you look at Biden. Good morning, Bina. That's good. That's a good way to put it, Mom. I'm going to take that into consideration and process it into my words and use that. Thank you. So back to relationships. How do you support someone who is suffering under the emotional abuse? And even physical abuse. The emotional abuse or physical abuse, the control of someone else, the isolation that happens sometimes in relationships. I've had a conversation just recently with someone. I won't mention who they are, or how I know them, or how they're related to me in order to protect their privacy. But I had this conversation and I was like, look, you have to embrace the people around you. You cannot be so caught up in your partner that you lose connection with your connections, that you lose who you are because you're so caught up with them. And my daughter's on the page, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but I've had that conversation with her as well, not recently, but just in the past. You can't be so caught up in someone else's life that you don't have your life. Steve says you stay clear of friends in toxic relationships. If they ask, I give a yes or no answer. But so, Steve, if you stay clear of the friends in the toxic relationship, how are you giving them support? Maybe the conversations with you. Look, you guys, I'm always adjusting myself. I see myself in this camera and I'm like, girl, you need to get it together, but you need to straighten out your collar. Steve said, let's be real. A lot of people live for toxicity, just don't want to share publicly. Okay, but if I'm talking about a situation where you have a friend or family member who has lost themselves, you may have, it may present like how it is presented for me is that I've had a family member who was very energetic and just really the life of the party and into herself, makeup, glamorous, looking gorgeous, right? And then got into a relationship, and all of a sudden, I'm an empath, right? I've come to this realization, and possibly you have too. Oh, I'm gonna go backwards. Suli, thank you for the comment on the glasses. These are my first fashion glasses that I got from Wink Optics, and it's time for me to buy some more glasses. And I get compliments on these glasses all the time. I love Wink Optics in San Anselmo and Mill Valley. I've talked about them before. Anyway, the life was beginning to be sucked out of her. You could see this person before getting involved in this relationship, energetic, doing things, going to parties, going dancing, just really the life of the party, just had energy, positive, vibrant energy. And then got into this relationship, and every time I saw this person, that energy wasn't there. It was as if they were just a walking zombie. What happened to you? You gained weight. You don't take care of yourself anymore. You're not wearing makeup like you used to. Now, I don't care if you do or don't wear makeup. I'm just saying you've lost what you were. You're not doing your hair. You're not taking care of yourself. What about you? How do you take care of you? And how could I pull myself away from that and say, well, that's her relationship. That's who she decided to be with, so whatever. No. How do we figure out a way a way to provide the support that they need, people who are stuck in these type of emotionally abusive relationships, and sometimes physically and anything else, right? How do we give them the support without judgment, such that they can see their own strength, the strength that we see, the strength? Because let me tell you something, I'm not strong enough to be oppressed and survive and thrive in that oppression and not have that oppression visible to everybody. I'm not that, I don't have that strength. And I'm calling it strength because people who are dealing with oppression okay, I guess I'm saying I don't have that kind of strength to be in an oppressive relationship. Look, because we're all being oppressed, and we're thriving and surviving, right? I don't have the strength to be in an oppressive relationship and to continue to live in that oppressive relationship. I don't have that. Somebody else has the strength to do that, but doesn't recognize that if you have the strength, not weakness, the strength to do that, you have the strength to get out of that. It's that same strength that you tap into to survive under the oppression, being oppressed, being controlled, being underappreciated or unappreciated. It's that strength that you tap into to get out of that situation and survive and thrive and get back to self. How do we support our brothers, sisters, cousins, friends when we see them that way and they're afraid to speak because they don't want to be judged? So what do we do? What do you do? What do you do? Let me get to some of the comments. If you guys are talking, I don't want to miss what you're saying. Unfortunately, some people become comfortable with their own pain. Yes, that's true, but how do we help them understand it's pain? They stop registering it as pain. The only way to deal with toxic people is to be absolutely present and heal yourself. You cannot fix them by telling them what to do. They will feel it from you. Yeah, I don't know who was saying that, but yeah, I agree. Did she ask you for help or did you think she needed your help? Didn't ask, and I didn't offer help. I remember when I was in a toxic space, I wouldn't hear anything from anybody. I had to save myself. Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that Suli? I think that was Suli. Try to see who made these comments. There are those who live for toxicity and those who are victims due to damage they experienced prior to the relationship they are in that is abusive. Remember, we talked about trauma and how our trauma guides us, right? So Steve, there are people who live for drama, right? They live for trauma, creating trauma and being everybody else's trauma, right? They thrive off of that, of your trauma and their own trauma. That's what they do. I don't understand that. That's a whole dysfunction in and of itself. But then there are other people whose trauma, whose childhood trauma, previous relationship trauma, whatever the trauma is, there are people whose trauma guides them into toxicity or has them accept something toxic as normal because what their life was just one toxic situation after another, one traumatic situation after another. So it's just like right now we are all wearing masks, right? So now we are normalized with mask wearing. It's just like in the Black community, to go to get psychological help was not seen as something we do. So dysfunction was normal. We normalized the negativity and we live with it. So it's not that we thrive in it or we look for it. It's just that it's normal. There's fires out in California. Everybody else will be leaving, but you Californians are like, where's fires? We have fires every year. It's normal. Just because you value a belief doesn't mean they do. Be a real friend. Hold space by being available to listen. Like really listen. Keep their secrets and speak always from love. Harder than it sounds. Yeah, who said that? Yeah, Suli. Yeah. And I think that's what we need to do. I think that's how, and the reason I'm saying this, I think that's what we need to focus on being prior to the recognition of anybody's trauma. Because if you are that real friend from the very beginning and you are supportive of your friend, not judgmental, your friend would be comfortable talking to you possibly, whereas they wouldn't be comfortable talking to somebody else. And the reason that this kind of stuck with me, hold on, let me get through some more comments. For those, we have to simply be available for when they are ready to recognize their value and right to be happy or experience their power. Yeah, but how do we help them get there? How do we support them in such a way that they understand how they are valued when they're not feeling it at home or recognizing that they're not getting it at home? More people suffer from the emotional side of abuse far longer than the physical, right? But never mistake shared trauma for compatibility. Heal. Yeah, right. There are predators who seek those who are damaged or vulnerable, right? And those, they're seeking our loved ones. They're seeking our friends. Metaphorically, I can't begin to tell you how many people have come to me crying with a black eye. I would give them my opinion only to see them come back with the other eye dotted. That must be Steve. Right, Steve, because you can't make you can't make, I'm starting to learn how you guys talk, so I'm almost not really needing your what names next to it. I read it and I'm like, yeah, I think that's Steve. The thing about it, Steve, is that people have to deal with they have an exit strategy of their own, and sometimes they don't make it. My mom has a friend who had an exit strategy, and her husband killed her before she enacted her exit strategy. Sometimes we stay too long. We stay too long. They stay too long. And by the time they're ready to leave, they're killed or hurt. And this man killed his wife in front of his 4 children, was it, Mom? Beat her to death in front of her 4 children. Oh, that's love. This is not always a problem that only happens when they are an adult. It starts at an early age, right? When you are healthy, you help those you know by speaking your truth as Sue said, listen to your friends. By listening and just being there with answers when they ask for them. Be sure to never give them advice. Give them an honest opinion. They may respond to the opinion in a positive way. And don't compare. Don't compare their trauma to your trauma, right? Everybody has trauma, and everybody's trauma is traumatic for them. It doesn't matter whether I see it as traumatic or not. That breaks my heart because the trauma the kids will have to deal with. Yeah. Horrible. And then these children were going to be separated because they didn't have anybody who could take all 4 kids. No one in the family, which is another whole issue, took all 4 kids. So the kids, I think, got adopted by a stranger because mom, dad, brother, whoever wouldn't take the kids. I'm not going to say couldn't. Because if somebody today was to take out all of my siblings in this little bitty house, I would take in all of my nieces and nephews if they were babies and needed to be taken in. In this little bitty house, just give them all to me. We'll figure it out. Yes, and never had hit her before that day, but had been verbally abusive. So this woman had never been physically abused before the day he beat her to death. Emotionally, verbally, yes, but not physically. And by the time she was ready to leave, she was sleeping in the kids' room with the door barricaded, and this man broke through the barricade and beat her. Yes, the worst is when I'm sharing and that person compares themselves or another person. Right. Oh, I know what you mean because this happened to me. And sometimes we share, and I find myself doing it, especially because I'm now in the habit of sharing with you guys so that you can see you in me, right? And we can open up and have more dialogue. I feel like the more I share, the more you're comfortable sharing. And this is what we do at this table, right? My therapy is yours too. It's all of our therapy. We can therapize. Yes, I made it a word. Don't be mad, be jealous. I create a word when I need one. Sometimes we start to we start to share in an effort to help that person feel like they are not alone. But some people don't receive it that way. They receive it as a comparison. So you have to know when to just be silent, when to just be there and listen. Your mom said 2 families adopted 2 each and work together so the children are able to be with each other. The families live on the same block. That's fantastic. That's fantastic, but I'm still disheartened that the family didn't take the kids. I'm still disheartened with that, but that is fantastic that they were able to find 2 people in the same community, in the same block, that were willing, 2 families that were willing to take these children in order to have them be able to be raised somewhat together. Can you imagine having your dad beat your mama to death? He goes to jail, and now y'all are all split up. I wonder what kind of sane adults these are going to be in that situation if they were all split up after that traumatic event. How do we support those around us? And how do you make sure that you are always available to be support, to reach out when you need support, and to be the support for someone else? I am my sister's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. And I didn't used to be like, that ain't my business, but you are my business. Mind my business. Okay, no problem. Everybody at this table is my business. So when I'm minding your business, understand that I feel like you're my business. When I'm asking about you, you are my business. I called my daughter the other day and I'm like, where are you going? She was like, minding my business. Mom, mind your business. She was joking. I was like, I am. This is my business. You are my business. So I'm minding it. Using a quote from my grandmother, never give so much of yourself that you have nothing left for yourself. That's true, Tobiah. That's true. I agree with that. And I'm not suggesting you should do that, but don't give none of yourself to those that you care about. I don't mean be selective. Definitely be selective. But be the support for somebody else, only to the extent that you can manage it, only not beyond your ability to support them and yourself, not beyond that. When folks can vent and know that there will be no judgment, they are able to reach their power by listening to themselves as they vent, while you represent a person who is able to handle their issues. Yeah. Sometimes it just takes hearing it over and over again. When you're telling one person a story and then you play it again for someone else and then you play it again and you're like, you know what? I'm tired of telling this story because I seem like an idiot in this story. Let me not tell the story. You have to encourage people to tell their story so they realize that they seem like an idiot. Abuse is abuse. Verbal versus physical is like a screeching car speeding down the street. By standing on that street, the chances of getting run over increase dramatically. No, I said I'm minding my business, not mind your business. Oh, and then I said, yeah, and I'm minding my business too. Yeah, which Chelsea Mack is my business. Now until the day I die, that's my business. And even in death, that's my business. We know when we're given too much, plate becomes too full. Yeah. And we've all reached that time where our plate is so full we have nothing to give, or we've given enough to some that now they've taken us to a full plate. That's it. I cannot take any more. Oh, I wish a man would put his hands on me. I would cut it off. That must be Suli. Suli, any man who looks at you, beast mode Suli, and decides to put a hand on, needs to have the hand on you, that needs to have his hands cut off. He needs to have his mind examined. We can only help them when we don't internalize their problems in ourselves. Sorry, little rant, it's in the air. And we have to find a way to not take on their stress. And that's what I've realized. I've realized about myself is that I do take on, and coming to this table talking, I'm really realizing how much of an empath I am and how that is a problem for me, because I'm taking on everybody's stress. You call me with a problem. Now your problem is my problem. Now I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about Denise. I'm worried about Suli and her fires. I'm worried about my mom getting what she needs. I'm worried about my kids in California. I'm worried about folks who need to be at the dentist. I'm on Facebook talking about, look, we need a dentist now. Somebody let us know who a dentist is. This child needs a dentist now, right? And now I'm up. I'm up. So I actually yesterday, when I was called to be asked about the dental care, I wasn't called to be asked about the dental care. At the end of the conversation, I said, okay, why are you telling me this? What do you need from me? And that's an important step for me, because I just used to, if you tell me something, you tell me what problem you have. Now it's my mission to solve your problem. Now that's my mission. And now I'm saying, okay, what is it that you need from me in this moment? Let me see if I can provide for you what you need. What can I do to help you? Are you asking me for help? Are you just wanting to let me know what's going on with you? Are you venting? What is it that you're doing? And this man was like, I was just sharing. Oh, yeah, but what was the purpose of your sharing? By telling someone what to do, you eliminate their need to defend their significant other and are able to recognize the other is not right. I absorb their stress and I work on solving their problems. Yeah. Good morning, Nicole. Right, Bina, but that it becomes then your stress, right? It becomes your problem. Mom, Sully's asking you, are you a therapist? She thinks she is. I give an opinion. She's just an elder. I give an opinion if asked. If they come back with the same problem a week later, silence. That's Steve. Steve, you just gotta listen. You gotta listen. They have to work. We have to work through our own problems. Look, when I was suffering. Good morning, Bernadette. When I was suffering in my lowest of lows, I had the same problem for damn near a year. And I couldn't work my way out of that problem. But what helped me was having someone sitting there with me and just saying, yes, that's a problem. Yes, that's a problem. Yeah, I understand. I know it must be hard for you. I'm not saying to be that someone for everybody. That's not what I'm saying. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much of a burden for any one of us to carry. But imagine if all of us at this table were that someone for all of us at this table. And I'm just using this table as the symbolizing our community, right? The greater community. If everybody my son is crazy. Chris just came into my room, saw you on the computer screen and said, "What's up, Mom?" I started cracking up. Smack that boy upside the head for me, please. He should be listening to this talk instead of talking about "What's up, Mom." My son talking about you need to build your viewership so you got something to be proud of. As a counselor, I would ask them what they would do if there was no one available to help them. It would put them on track to be self-reliant. Yeah. But I'm not asking, the thing is, I'm not asking in this moment about how you help them get out of their situation. I'm not asking in this moment I'm really suggesting that we need to find a way to be there for our community such that our community doesn't get swallowed up into these abusive relationships. We need to find a way, as women at the table, we need to find a way to support our sisters so that our sisters know their own value, so that they know their worth, and so that the sister circle is so strong that they know they are always, somebody is always looking for them. Someone's always checking up on them. Someone values them. Someone is always there for them. We need to do that support from day one. We need to make sure that the women in our circles now understand how valuable they are to us now, so that they don't get caught up in these relationships with these men who don't value them. They know their worth and won't accept anything less than someone else knowing their worth. And our men need to do the same thing. We need to raise our sons. Suli, you and I are raising sons. I don't know who else at the table is raising sons. Tobiah, raised a son. We need to raise our sons up such that they understand how they are to be treated by women. Don't accept that. Don't accept the okie doke from folks. This is how you should be loved. This is how you should be tended to. This is how you should be treated. Show them what that is and let them have a strong male bond. Stace is not on today, but Stace is doing it with his men's group. A strong male bond where these men are valued such that the women are not taking advantage of them. Let's see, hold on. Let me get back to these comments. The way that I have found works best is to let the person know that, one, I am here to support you. Yeah, knew that was Elaine. Two, I established that I will offer no answers but can listen to them then. Three, if asked, I offer suggestions. And four, constantly remind them of their strengths. Five, let it go when you hang up the phone and revisit when next you speak to them. Bernadette said, Kennedy said she finally watched one of your videos and said she thought you were really good. Yes, we do need to support and uplift each other. Thank you, my little niece, Kennedy. Thank you, Kennedy. Love you, girl. Thank you, thank you. Kennedy is the artist at the table. Well, she's not at the table right now, but she's a phenomenal artist. Okay, I'm going to say something that fellas will relate to a lot. Not all men are in toxic relationships because of the P. No, you're saying a lot of them are in toxic relationships because sex drives them. Well, you know what? So those men need to be re-educated. There is not enough in the world that will make me enough physical anything. Sex is not going to allow you to do whatever you want. Money is not going to allow you to treat me however you want. Status is not going to allow you to treat me however you want. So there's a problem for those men then. Those men have issues. Yes, men can be victims as well, right? Just for the sake of saying it, this is the problem that men and women both saw. Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying, Tobiah. That's absolutely what I'm saying. We need to have women supporting women, men supporting men, and in my opinion, we need our women supporting men and our men supporting women. Because if our men are supporting women, our men would not allow their brothers to treat the women that way. And if our women are supporting men, our women would not be allowing their sisters to treat men the way they treat them. I don't know how men talk about it, but I know women brag about what she can get her man to do. Oh, girl, he bought me this. He got me that. He did this for me. What did you do for him? What did you do? I have a girlfriend who, that's what I say all the time. Oh, he did this. He did this. He did this. Okay. All right. So, hey, what'd you do for him? How did you cherish him? How is it only one-sided? How is it only that he is supposed to cherish you? If you are his queen, that makes him your king. Treat him as such. You want him running around here talking about my queen, my queen, my queen, but you treating him like a pauper. You're treating him like a servant, a peasant. Work that out. And when you have a sister that's treating her man like a pauper, like a peasant, you need to check your sister. I should have had my mug that said, get your cousins. You need to get your cousin. I remember there was a woman that I knew when my daughter was young. She was a mom of one of my daughter's friends. And she was so mean to her husband. And I would sit at the table and she would just be blasting into her husband. Why did you do this? Just like he was a child. And her husband was dedicated to her kids. He didn't even have any children with her. They were her kids. But he wasn't allowed to discipline her kids. And I don't mean physically discipline. I mean chastise. I mean, when the child does something wrong, he couldn't say, no, don't you shouldn't do this, can't do this, don't do that, whatever. He was not allowed to. Every time he got ready to say something to the kid, she was running in. So one day, the two of us were together, and I looked at her. I was sitting at the table having tea. With her. And her husband walked out of the room, and I looked at her, and I was like, one, I would divorce you. She's like, what? I was like, if that were me, if I were your husband, I would leave you. There is no way I would stay in a relationship with you talking to me the way you talking to him. No way. And two, I will not come back to your house if you're talking to your husband like that in front of me. It is very uncomfortable. I won't do it. And I'm sorry to say, I hope he leaves you because you're wrong. Treating that man like that. Nicest guy. You treating him like dirt. Hope he leaves your ass. I don't know who else talked to her. I don't know if the way I talked to her got through, but she surely did change how she talked to her husband. They are still married to this day, and they are happily married now. She surely did change how she was. But Heather, you are not about to sit in front of me and disrespect your husband like that. That's not going to happen. I gotta go. Don't invite me to your house anymore. Talking to that man like he crazy. Wanted to knock her ass out. He was a nice man, nicest, sweetest man. Now, if he was an asshole, I might have been like, girl, get him. Look, you need a knife, you need to cut him, you need a bat, what you need. But in this case, no. Just as when, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I know you were talking. Oh, Chelsea, I know who you're talking about. I think it was because she was extremely insecure. They did have one kid together, but the other two aren't his. Yeah, they eventually had one kid, but at the time, you know who I'm talking about. At the time, when this happened, they didn't have that child yet. They weren't actually, they had just married, but they didn't have a child yet. Just as when someone is saying something racist, you are part of the problem if you don't speak up. The same is true of abuse. Folks talking about being abusive, yes. Exactly. You have an obligation. Speak up. Don't accept that. We are responsible. If all we have to do is say, you know what, that's not right, you treat him that way. If that's all you have to do it. You're not taking on anybody's stress. All you're doing is saying, look, that's how you treat your man, fine. Treat your man like that. I don't agree with it. That's how you treat your woman, fine, but I don't agree with it, and don't share that mess with me. Today's males are not receiving what we call man training as we were taught in my youth. Yeah, that's Tobiah. See, I'm learning, you guys. Look at that. I'm like, yeah, that's Tobiah. I know who that is. You know what? Maybe that's what you need to do, Uncle Tobiah. You need to have some man training. Man training classes. Look, I'm going to enroll A10. Just wait for the fires to be over and coronavirus to be done, and I'm going to send him. And then Z is going to be there. Let's see who else we can get to the table. And not in front of me, because I will say something. Right. That's craziness. Especially when you have a beautiful man, beautiful energy, wanting to tend to you and your kids, and you stomping on him every time he comes around. Man, you better get it together. But she corrected herself. She corrected. They're still together and hopefully happy. Yeah, you're gonna be too sweet, two students, right? Let's get it on the calendar. You available June 10th of 2021? That's gonna be my birthday, so I'm gonna send you the boys. I'm gonna send you my boys. Suli gonna be at my 50th birthday celebration. So Tobiah, you got to be at the celebration too. You and Deborah got to be whining with us. So okay, well it's gonna be the week after because we're gonna need some downtime, and you're gonna be teaching our boys how to be real men. And Stace, exactly. So you and Stace, Steve gonna teach him how to be something. Steve has valuable input, but we don't want to send him to Steve. We want to send him to Stace and Tobiah. And then when they finish with Stace and Tobiah, they can go to Steve. I'm saying we love you, Steve, but you know what? You're special. Men have to stand up and call out the abusive men and let them know that there are consequences to their actions, right? And that they won't be accepted in the male's community. Stop accepting your abusive person, your abusive friend into your circle, whether it be your abusive girlfriend or your abusive guy friend. It doesn't matter. Right, Suli? Steve will toughen them up, but that's why we need them to go to Tobiah and Stace first, and then Steve. So Tobiah and Stace gonna teach them how to be proper gentlemen, how to, let their manhood be, be solid and strong, and and chivalrous and everything else, right? All the wonderful qualities. And then Steve gonna teach him how to whoop some ass when necessary. Okay. Stace and Tobiah gonna teach them how to be polished. Steve gonna teach them how to whoop some ass when necessary. That's what, and they need both, right? Not saying, Steve, that you couldn't also contribute to teaching them how to be polished. I'm not saying you're hood. I'm just saying you hood. We got support to do, guys. We've all watched people in relationships that we knew were unhealthy for them. I've watched it in my own family. And I've sat back. And, in my younger years, I would have been like, look, girl, I wouldn't be doing that. I couldn't take that. Oh, you stronger than me. But, when you say something to somebody like that, oh, you stronger than me, that's judgmental. Even that statement in that way comes across as judgmental. And they won't want to come back and talk to you. And that's what I'm dealing with in terms of how I communicate with people. Yesterday, I was talking to my son about something, and I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what I said to him, but whatever I said, it may have been something like, well, you choose. And he's like, yeah, but if I choose this, then you're going to think it's wrong. And I'm like, no, I really want you to choose. It's your choice. But he's so worried about me not agreeing with the choice that he doesn't want to make the choice without me giving my input first. So I'm trying to learn how to back up and really allow, so let me be clear. I've always been that way. Like, it's your choice. However, the way it comes across to other people is it's your choice, but if you choose wrong, you're stupid. I'm trying to figure out how I can better present my thoughts such that when I say it's your choice, I solidly mean it's your choice, and whatever the consequences are, whatever happens because of the choice that you made, it is your choice, and those are your consequences to deal with. I admit that I was the one who would beat down a man who was beating on a woman. Who says that, Steve? Oh, the Tobiah. There you go. Thank you, Tobiah. You really don't know me. I'm not hood. Oh, that's Steve. You really don't know me. I'm not hood. I'm intellectually and culturally hood-ish. Yeah, you hood. I know, Steve. I know you are not really hood, just like I really don't stink. I mean, sometimes I do. So, and sometimes you hood. So, we know you, Steve. Don't act like we don't know you. I'm definitely from the hood. Tobiah's like, I'm hood. I'm hood. I'm polished hood. I'm polished hood. I'm going to teach these boys how to be, but I'm hood. Listen, y'all, I mean, it takes a community. It takes all of us, and all of us have a little bit of all of it in us, and that is what makes us beautiful. I don't want the one-sided. I don't want hoodish Steve and polished Tobiah. I want my children to understand all sides of it. I want you to be able to operate wherever you go. If you got to be in the hood, you better be able to operate in the hood. If you got to be in the boardroom, you got to be able to operate in the boardroom. So we all have all of it in us. That's what makes us so awesome. That's what we've learned to code switch to save our lives. Therefore, switching from hood to boardroom, what? It's normal. It's normal. We all got it. We all got it. We have intellectual hood and polished hood. That's right. That's right. And that's not saying Tobiah is not intellectual and that Steve is not polished, but we're gonna give you a role to play at this table. When you teaching our sons, we need you to have a role and we need you to play that role. Okay? Play your role. We all have a responsibility and we're gonna own up to that responsibility. Suli gonna teach my son to get out there on that water, and I'm gonna teach her son to come out here and build a boat. So it works together. It works together. We're gonna be putting together bikes, building boats, building a desk. I'm really about to head to the hardware store and buy some wood, and me and my son about to build a desk up in this piece. And when he needs to go out on the water, I'm sending him to Suli. Okay, we got a role to play. We got a role to play. Anyway, you guys, I think that especially in this time, a lot of people are suffering. We all have anxiety. We're all dealing with everything that we normally deal with in life, but our anxiety with it is heightened because of this coronavirus mess. right? Because of the pandemic. And so those of our friends who were already in abusive relationships, they are suffering more. So now's the time. Exactly. We can dress it up and dress it down right. We're going to be that community that boys land in Oklahoma and live what? Oh, communally. Yeah. Look, I'm looking like, what? I don't have my reading glasses on. Yes. That we're going to be that community that buys land in Oklahoma and live communally. We're not going to do it in Oklahoma. Look, we got experiences in Oklahoma. We're going to have to do that someplace else. Can we just do it can we do it in Arizona? Ass backwards, Oklahoma. I don't want to go back there. That's where my ex-husband is from. That's where all his family is. I don't want to be in Oklahoma. Sometimes even when you are there and you see the person taking the steps to leave a bad situation, they may not escape a negative outcome. The DA that handled Diana's murder said that the man was going to kill her no matter what, but that having been there for her had helped. That's good. And that makes you feel better, I'm sure, Mom, because you were there for her. And you can say, without reservation, I was there, period. This is my friend. My friend died, yes, but I was there for her in the best way I possibly can. I never turned my back on her situation. I was there for her in the capacity that she needed me to be. And the outcome is the outcome. And that's the thing that I want to emphasize right here. A lot of our friends. Oh yeah, we need to be near the ocean, right? Thank you. We need to be. Well, let's do it in the Caribbean somewhere. Sully does have naval sealish tendencies. We need to be near the ocean with some soca music. Let's go to Zealand. Let's go to New Zealand. Build that community. Let's get it started now. Let's get it started. Let's start focusing on that now. Where are we going to buy land? Buy us some 50 acres. Hire some mules. Buy some mules. Right now, the people that you know in your life who are suffering, that you may have pulled away from. Oh yeah, there we go. Costa Rica, let's do it. Let's do it. Y'all think I'm playing? My son yesterday was like, Mom, if it's so hard for Black people here, why are we staying? Why don't we go? Because I was having a conversation with him, the normal conversation you have with your Black son about relationships and being careful who you talk to, being careful who you're around, being careful who you consider your friends, because you're a Black man in America, that conversation. That conversation that only we have to have with our kids. And rightfully, my son is like, if it's so bad here for us, Mama, let's go. Let's make that happen. Let's put that to work. There we go. We're going to go to TNT. No, crime in TNT is a little bad right now. Charmaine keeps posting all the crime stuff in TNT. No, I don't know about that. But Costa Rica. So, Elaine says it's more important it helped her parents and family know that she had someone. Oh, good. Also, it was a biracial couple, and the parents felt that if they had taken the children, racism in their country would not have been good. They stay into, okay, all right, I see. So they just couldn't have their grandchildren with them for their own safety. I understand. It still saddens me, but I understand. I mean, it saddens me that they couldn't be with their family, but I understand the issue. So anyway, right now, let's think about the people in our lives who maybe need an ear and reach out to them. Maybe they need an ear. They need a little bit of extra support. They were struggling before this pandemic. You are in this self-actualization phase of your life. You've come to tea time therapy enough that you're strong. Make sure that you are supporting those around you, that you are being their support, only to the extent that you can manage yourself and their support and being their support. Don't give too, like Tobias' grandmother said, don't give so much of yourself that you have nothing left for yourself. And I want to say that when the people in my life that I witnessed this with are doing exactly that. They're giving so much of themselves that they have nothing left for themselves. And you see it. You see it. When you're looking at them, they're empty. They are empty. Their light is not shining. I need your light to shine. because I'm an empath. I can see your light. I can see it. I can feel it. I can feel that fabulous energy around you. I can feel this aura around you that says, I'm good. I'm good. I'm powerful. I'm strong. I'm there for me. I love me. I can feel that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you can too. So let's be there for our people. Let's be there for our people. Well, what time is it? I'm looking over here for time. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. I'm right on time. I'm right on time. I'm getting ready to go plan my road trip, guys. I found a site that will help me plan for the stops along the way. I was trying to figure out what am I going to do? It's a pandemic. East Coast outdoors is not like West Coast outdoors. I don't want to go hiking. What's there to do? So good morning, Stacy. Mostly that you have power and value. Right. That's what we need to understand. So now I'm getting ready to get to planning my vacation. And I'm going to keep you guys posted. I will still be at tea time during my vacation. Tea time fuels my life. You guys are my lifeline right now. So I'm here. I'm here all day, every day. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful, 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 glorious day. California, be safe. Be safe. Sully, keep your ass off of that bicycle with all this smoke out there, honey. I hear you that you need to exercise, but I need you to not do that exercise where you have to gulp in a lot of air. And when you exercise outside, you're breathing in lots of air. You're breathing heavier than when you normally would breathe. And you're breathing in all of that particulate matter, all of the particles that's coming from the fires burning off. And that is not good for your lungs. Bina, I don't know where you are, Stacy. I don't remember. But Chelsea, do not go out in that horrible, horrible, horrible air quality air. Please do not do anything strenuous out there because you're breathing in more air. You're getting more of that crap into your lungs. They had no courtesy car and no Uber in my area. Okay. All right. Well, stay in now. The men are right again. Shut up, Steve. We need a green book for pandemic. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do, Tobias. Yeah, we do. I'm looking for it. Like, where do I go? What do I do? What's safe? Please stay in the house. Tobias, Steve, please do not be outside with the air quality the way it is. And I know that you may have your N95 mask on. If you have to go outside, please put that N95 mask on, but don't go outside if you don't need to. Inside your house, hopefully you have an air filter. You can have I was going to say Brita. It's not Brita, a HEPA filter. Hopefully you can have a HEPA filter in your house to filter out some of the air, even that's sitting in your house. Keep your windows closed. Keep your windows closed. Use your filter. If you have to go outside, go use your N95 mask. Chelsea, get your brother up and get him to the store to get the respirator mask. And Sui says, and fortify with your vitamins and water. Drink lots and lots of water and get your vitamins in. You guys stay safe. We're praying for you. Chelsea says, I'm not going outside. It's unfortunate. We can't even go on walks now to help with our anxiety. Right. Tobias doing chores. Yeah, Chelsea, when you get the respirator mask, you might be able to go walk around the block. But you know what? Chelsea, let's do a dance fitness workout today. Let's do that a little bit later. At least that'll help get you moving, get your blood circulating. You can't say anything slick to a can of oil. I don't get that. The comment's probably coming so late after whatever I said that I don't know what that's referencing. Send you all love and hugs. Okay. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful, glorious day. Stay inside. Stay inside. Stay inside. If you live in California, keep your ass in the house. You hear me? This your grandmama speaking. Reminds me of when my son was. Kennedy's been doing yoga, which is helping her a lot. So you know what, Bernadette, we need to get Kennedy, Chelsea, me, you, Sully, whoever. I need to set up a Zoom dance class today. I did Zoom dance workout. We were doing them at the beginning of the epidemic, the beginning of the pandemic, and we stopped doing them. We need to do that again. Chelsea, I'm gonna set it up. You gonna do it? I'm gonna send you the link, Bernadette. Kennedy can join us. You can join us if you like. Sully, y'all can join. I'm posted on my page on the Facebook. Peace and hair grease, y'all. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. wash your hands, wear your mask. If you live in California, keep your ass in the house. What was the other thing? Well, if you're keeping your ass in the house, you're keeping your distance. But everybody else, keep your distance, keep your distance, keep your distance. Stay safe, and I will see you here tomorrow. Same place, same time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Deborah needs to do a Zumba class for us. We need to do a Zumba workout. Yes, 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 yes. We need to do that. We need to do that. See you here, same place, same time, doing the same thing all day, every day. I feel good today, guys. Janice, you're gonna show up while we getting off the feed. Get out of the class. You do not get credit for showing up today. No credit. Peace and hair grease. Have a great day. She teaches on Zoom. Tobiah, can you look, I'm trying to get off of here. Y'all keep talking to me. You know I don't ever want to go anywhere. You know I want to sit right here and be like, so anyway, so what else is new? Tobiah, if she has a time that she teaches class, can you share that on the page somewhere through Facebook somehow? Share it with us so we can all join her class. And I know there's probably some kind of fee, so we can support that as well and join her class. So if you can share that information, please and thank you. All right, guys. A couple of things that we are charged with doing still. You need to be reaching out to 5 people. You still need to do that. Reach out to 5 people. Encourage them to vote for Biden and Kamala. Not just to vote. Thank you, Mom. Vote for Biden and Kamala. Trevor Noah said it best. We are not black. We are not black enough in success, but we are black enough in failure, right? Our black is not questioned when we fail, but when we are trying to be successful or when we are successful, oh, she's not really black. Can't give us no credit. Anyway, have a wonderful, glorious day. Wash your hands. Stay home. Wear your mask. Janice, go get your respirator mask and keep your distance. And we'll see you here tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll post the link for today's dance fitness workout. And Tobiah will give us the information for Deborah's Zoom class. All right. Have fun, guys. Have fun. Let's get this party started. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Bye.